is Stephanie Steinberg, and I'm the managing editor of SEEN Magazine. We're here today at Michigan Central Station in Detroit to honor our 2018 SEEN Changemakers. We're here because the train station represents change and transformation in Detroit and Metro Detroit. Meet the 2018 SEEN Changemakers.
My name is Bailey Sisoy-Isgro. I live in Highland Park, Detroit, and I am the founder and director of Detroit History Tours and the Detroit History Club. Detroit History Tours got its start because we wanted to bring world-class, evening, entertainment-themed, highly historical tours to the city of Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck. So when we began, our entire goal was to get people to love the city and care about its beautiful historic places by learning about its history in a way that was so much fun it didn't feel like learning. From that, we grew into an event company called the Detroit History Club that has the same mission, but instead of tours, hosts events throughout Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck to get people engaged in city history. We do events 12 months a year. They are all themed to be appropriate for the time of year it is. And then in the winter, we're exploring the inside of beautiful and historic locations. We're taking our bus across the whole 142.7 square miles of Detroit and trying to learn and share and teach with all our new friends. So Detroit History Tours has always been special because from the very beginning, we were honest with everyone. We drink and we swear and we have a great time. Our history is triple vetted, our guides are the best, but at the end of the day, what we're worried about is our clients having the most fun possible. Our entire goal is to get people to care about the city of Detroit by learning about its history. I'm making an impact in Metro Detroit, the city of Detroit, Highland Park, and Hamtramck, because every day it's easy to drive past places and not recognize why we should save them or care about them. But once you learn the stories, once you care about the history and the people who came before, it's hard to drive past without excitingly yelling at your friends, hey, I know this about this building, or who used to live here or work here, who built it and why they built it, and how Detroit changed the world.
Steve Freedman. I live in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and I'm head of school at Hillel Day School. So as head of school, I'm responsible for children from ECC through 8th grade, and my responsibility is to just oversee all the aspects of the school, from education to advancement to the business, to make sure that everything is running smoothly so our children can learn and be happy. As head of school, my responsibility is to be the connector with the community, with our parents, our teachers, the educational leaders, everyone who is working together to make Hillel the best school it can be. So one of the things I do, I'm the chief storyteller. I tell the story of Hillel. I tell the story about our vision and why it is so important for children to have the kind of education we provide, as well as for our Jewish children to really understand who they are and how to take those values into the community. One of the big ways that we're making a big impact is because Hillel has been on the leading edge of change. Many schools around the city and around the country have come to visit us to see what we're doing, and educators and philanthropists come together to learn with us to see what can happen to make a difference for children at Hillel and all over our city and country.
My name is Robert Burston. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm the proud owner and CEO of Proud Detroiter. Proud Detroiter is a clothing brand. I started it last year. It all came out of nowhere. I was actually in a car accident, and being in this car accident, just sitting up, coming up with creative ideas, this is something that came across me. I always wanted to come up with something that represented Detroit, something, you know, that was fashionable, something very unique, and just coming up with a name, this is something that stood out to me. It was basically lightning struck in a bottle. Well, what makes ours different and really special because it speaks on the things that's actually going on in Detroit as far as the landscape, how it's changing. A lot of people want to have something that they can be able to identify with. And with Proud Detroiter, that is something that we have been able to do. You know, the city now, going through the changes, a lot of people now are ready to show the pride that they have in our city. And being able to identify with our clothing brand, a lot of people have been able to say they have been able to do that. Our brand is geared toward everyone. There's no particular demographic, there's no particular age group, no particular race. It's for everyone, from children all the way to adults. I'm making an impact in Metro Detroit because I'm giving people the opportunity to be able to speak up and also express themselves through our brand. Proud Detroiter it's not just something that we identify as clothes. It's also a culture. It's a movement. We like to say, be different, be a Proud Detroiter, and that's what you're able to do when you come and get our brand.
My name is Robert. I am from Detroit, Michigan, and I am the Director of Institutional Effectiveness at the Wayne State University School of Medicine. During my time as an undergraduate student at Wayne State University, I did a lot of volunteer work in the community. The first organization that I volunteered with was the Ronald McDonald House. Once I completed my MBA, I decided to look for ways to give back to the community. In a nutshell, I essentially raised funds for both the Ronald McDonald House and also the Michigan Opera Theater. With the Ronald McDonald House, I raised funds to keep families together when children are receiving care at local hospitals. With the Michigan Opera Theater, I raised funds to provide Detroit children with opportunities to experience different art forms in the form of opera. So the reason why I do the work that I do in the community with both organizations, the Ronald McDonald House and the Michigan Opera Theater, is one, to provide families with a home away from home when their children are receiving treatment at local hospitals, and also to give children opportunities to experience different art forms that they may not be able to experience without the support of volunteers such as myself.
My name is Lauren Bealore. I'm from Southfield, Michigan, and I'm the Michigan Political Director for America Votes. Like many adolescents in their collegiate experience, I actually did not plan to go into politics. I decided to get my master's in public policy, and I think that's where this complete whirlwind of political journey began. I feel that I am impacting the Metro Detroit community by bridging gaps that are in different entities, from politics to business. For one, I choose to brand my career where I blend politics as well as being the co-founder of YAB, which is Young, Ambitious, and Beautiful. And it's a venture conglomerate that myself and two of my co-founders started to support startups that were created by women of color nationally. And I think that by having conversations, creating dialogue, bringing DEI into both of these lenses and looking at things from multiple perspectives is really how I'm choosing to impact the work in Metro Detroit.
I'm Steve Styes with the Recovery Project in Livonia, Michigan, and I'm the Wellness Program Coordinator. As the Wellness Program Coordinator at the Recovery Project, I'm responsible for managing all of our various wellness programs. We offer programs and wellness classes for people with Parkinson's disease, MS. I also work with people with traumatic brain injuries, and we also offer some yoga classes, adaptive yoga classes for people with all different types of conditions. On any given day, I may be working with anywhere from 5 to 15 different patients that may be in a group class setting, and that may be one-on-one individualized patient care. Sometimes I'm working as a yoga teacher, practicing yoga therapy. We also may be working as a trainer for somebody with a traumatic brain injury or even a spinal cord injury. And then in our group classes, again, it may be people with Parkinson's disease. We offer rock steady boxing, we offer power classes that are just amazing programs to help people fight these various diseases. So what makes the Recovery Project special is that we specialize in research and evidence-based treatments and therapies. We have a lot of state-of-the-art equipment for functional electrical stimulation. I think we're making an impact in the Metro Detroit areas that we're really bringing joy to people's lives. We're helping improve their lives and getting people to move that otherwise would not necessarily be moving. And we do this all with a lot of joy and a lot of fun.
My name is Chistopher Tait. I am from Hamtramck, Michigan, and I'm the founder of Passenger Recovery. Passenger Recovery is an organization that helps travelers and touring musicians find resources and support while coming through Detroit for recovery and sobriety meetings. I'm a musician, and I've worked for Detroit bands and Beats Music, and I've been both a curator and a performer and a writer for the better part of 18 years in Detroit and elsewhere, and been sober for 7 of those years. And being on tour for the better part of the year, I noticed when I first sobered up that there was a lack in support, especially in the Midwest, for people who have limited amounts of time every day and whose variables change every day when they're on a touring schedule, to try and find either meetings or a community. So here in Detroit, our goal is to facilitate and make finding that support as easy as possible for people who have limited amounts of time every day. I'm making an impact in Metro Detroit by offering safe spaces through Passenger for traveling musicians and people who are traveling for work, and providing transport and information on local recovery meetings.